on here? Okay.
I'm not sure if Mara will be joining us. Her son's getting married. I'm not sure what you sent her.
Yeah, I saw that. So we just kind of want it. Normally we do a lunch and learn. So this is kind of why is it? Okay, got it. Normally we do a lunch and learn, have our presentation there. So this is actually our first time we've ever done a Zoom meeting type like this. So you're probably more familiar with it than we are. But we just kind of wanted to introduce ourselves to Bliss and what we can offer you guys as realtors when it comes to using us for your buyers, your sellers, things like that. A couple of things that maybe I will let Jeff go first and let him tell you a little bit what we expect as your roofer of choice. You know, we don't just do the standard take a look overview, and we do use the Benzers and inspection reports, although we do go by there and see what they have outlined. We do a little bit more in depth and give them what they need. So Jeff, do you kind of want to take it from here for a little bit? Go ahead.
Sure. So do you have any questions first, or what you expect from your roofers?
I don't know about questions, but I think maybe since we're on the ground and don't get up on the ladder, like just maybe things to know for our clients, and to be like, I don't know if there's anything we can see from the ground or things we should be looking out for, and just, you know, maybe some information on what you do typically find, so we kind of know what's typical.
Hi, honey.
Yeah, so typically, if not a high percentage, 90-some% of the roofs that we go look at need some kind of maintenance. And that's typical what your home inspector will find, like a broken tile or misplaced tile, mortar packs, and so forth. And then they will say, if the roof is over a certain age, that they want a licensed roofer to evaluate the underlayment or take and dig in further. And that's usually what shows up on your inspection report, or eventually when it gets to the Binzer, those are the items that you guys have agreed on to have us fix. So we're very aware of the situation of being a real estate transaction. We don't want to cause anybody, you know, any troubles, but we're honest to the point where we're going to tell you whatever we find. It's going to be the honest, true evaluation of the roof.
If you guys do happen to see, of course, the standard spotting in the ceilings, things that you guys can see as realtors when you go inside, and it may be an old leak that they had fixed, you know, those are the things that we want to take a look at and identify for sure, to make sure it was an old leak that was fixed, and maybe they just didn't paint it afterwards. Another thing is for buyers, we do charge a $49 fee, and that is because a buyer is not locked into repairing that roof or doing anything like that. And we've had some buyers go and they've used us, you know, time after time because they haven't found the right house. So, you know, $49 standard fee for a roof inspection is what we charge for buyers. Sellers is free, because a seller will either have to give some concessions to the buyer, or they will do it themselves prior to the sale or something like that. So homeowners is free, buyers is a $49 fee. And again, inspectors, when they do go out, and I've learned so much from being in the BNI group about what inspectors do and what they're, you know, I know that Mark at King Home Inspections goes a little bit more above and beyond than your standard inspectors. So I do trust his evaluation, but they don't have to go and lift up every tile, and they're not going to, or they're only looking at what they can visually see. If they can't visually see it, but there is a leak underneath, they won't know it, until they get up there and they can kind of, guesstimate on an area. But that's kind of where a professional roofing company like ourselves is there to give you the honest truth about what is necessary. We're not going to oversell anybody. That's not what we're in the business for. We want to just provide two things: listen to the customer and what their financial needs are, or their abilities, or what they desire. Sometimes they're like, nope, we can't afford that. We just want the repair. And if it's not going to be something that we can stand behind, we won't do it. I just prefer to walk away from something like that. If we know that they need a whole new roof and they are just apt to, fixing a small portion, it's our warranty, our name, and our integrity that we have to stand behind to want to do something like that. So that's kind of what we are about as a company, our work ethic, and what we have to stand behind, our workmanship. And we trust our guys implicitly. They do a great job. We don't cut corners, we don't do anything like that. So we won't. Somebody wants a 2-year, what do they call it, a 2-year
certification,
roof certification. If we don't think that it's going to last 2 years, we cannot give them a roof certification, nor will we do that. We want to make sure that, again, we stand by our words. So, and that's only the professional opinion, because we did not put on that original roof. So, but anyway, Jake, what do you look for when you're out there? Maybe you want to give some of your advice on realtors and what to look for. Jake is actually a former realtor, so he knows a little bit about it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, we do take the age of the home into account. That is something that is a really good indication for us as far as what potential needs that home may have. A lot of times we see roofs at that 20-year mark, 22, 23, 25 years. The further past that 20-year mark, the higher likelihood that roof is in need of a replacement. And kind of touching on what Evelyn said about inspectors. So typically home inspectors, they're just there for a visual inspection. They're not allowed, they shouldn't be lifting up any tiles. So that's something outside of their purview and their expertise. So they will refer to a professional in order to do that. But usually if a roof is neglected or hasn't had a maintenance, every roof should be looked at. We like to say every 3 years, just because there's a lot that can happen with the storms in Arizona, especially with this last monsoon season. Tiles are pretty heavy. They're about 8 pounds, but with all the storms that we've had, a significant amount of homes have had those tiles shifted and actually pulled up. Left unchecked, broken tiles, slip tiles, anything that exposes that underlayment will eventually lead to a leak. And that's where a lot of the leaks that we see come from, is just a neglected maintenance. So if you can get ahead of that early enough, you can prevent a lot of the issues that we do see longer down the line.
Perfect. Do you guys have any questions so far?
I have a feeling we've been talking to ourselves.
I'm not sure. Hello? Well, you guys have any more questions at all? I'm not sure who else is on here.
Sorry, my dog won't stop barking, so I can't unmute to talk.
No problem. I have a grandson here.
One other thing I wanted to mention, or two things, is when you get, say you're in your 10-day inspection period, is going close to the end of it, and you have a Binzer, you can shoot us over the Binzer and we can give you a price right off that without looking at the roof to address just the items they want fixed. Also, if it comes down to it, we can do payment through escrow. So if
Yes.
anything that needs to be done, we can go ahead and do it and get paid through escrow.
We just require credit card on file, for that. And a couple of things that I know, I find it in working with realtors. So when we're on our end, when we are getting the information for, when you call and you say, okay, whether you're working for the buyer or the seller, we want to know who will be financially responsible just for our paperwork, so we don't have to go back in. Because if we put it under your name, then we're going to have to go back in. If it's a transaction where they're selling the home, the buyer has 60 days to put it in their name, so we don't do a warranty they don't have to pay that warranty transfer fee. So if a seller is paying for it and getting it all done and it sells within the first 60 days, we might actually even extend that to 90, depending on what the sale of the home is going through. So this way we can put it in that new buyer's name, and all the warranties, there's no warranty transfer fee or anything like that, because once it passes that, there is a warranty transfer fee. For full roofs, it's like $500. For any repairs, it's like $250. We don't warranty any maintenance stuff because we're just cleaning it up, so to speak. We're taking it a bath and just cleaning everything up, removing the debris. We're not actually doing any repairs. So there's not a warranty on things like that. But those are all the things that, we understand that when it comes to real estate transactions, you guys are on a time crunch, and we really definitely want to help you as best as we can. And if we can, we do. And these guys go above and beyond and do extra stuff in between, and will squeeze you in when they can. So
That's really great, because I know, with buyers, the two biggest concerns usually are roof and AC. That's what they freak out about. And then from a seller standpoint, they don't always have the money. It's not so much that they don't want to do the repairs, but they can't. So if it can be done in escrow where they can then use the equity to get and pay you, then that's super helpful to a lot of sellers to get stuff done and keep the deal together. So that's great.
And we do offer financing as well. We offer 3 different options of financing. And so when we send out, when we come to see you guys, we give you a little presentation folder like this, and then it has all our stuff so that you guys know what we do. And so these are the tools that we find will be beneficial to you when selling yourself to be somebody's real estate agent. We feel that if you are educated and in roofing knowledge and, again, plumbing knowledge, whatever, in all that, they have the confidence in you that you're going to steer them the right way. And that's what we want to do. We want to educate you to make sure that you have a higher level of information for your customers to want to go with you, so that's the service we're here to provide you as well.
And do you guys cover the whole valley, or are there parts that you don't do, or?
We primarily try to stay on the East Valley, but we do go to the west side, if need be. If you guys have a case that is, where you're selling out there, that's fine. We will go to the West Valley. But we have primarily stayed on the east side.
If you go there, I'll go there.
I go there all the time. I live in North Phoenix. I'm off Carefree Highway in the 17.
We've been there. And that's probably our cutting point, literally, is the I-17 going east from that far north down to, we've gone to Maricopa, we go to Santan Valley. So it's everything on this side.
Okay.
But there's nothing too, well, I wouldn't say there's nothing too far. Let me see. We've even gone to Casa Grande. Thanks to Jake.
Stuff in Casa Grande, Arizona City. We've got agents in Tucson.
I know. So, I mean, yeah, just let us know how we can help you. We'll definitely make the efforts to try to help you for sure.
Awesome.
As
And
far
I know,
as,
oh, go ahead.
yeah, as far as like if you have a question or your clients or customers have questions, phone's always on. For me, you can call me if you need answers to roofing, anything to help you get those clients to feel more comfortable. We can be your on-call professionals anytime.
Yeah, for sure. And I did send both Jake and Jeff's and myself. I mean, I'm in the office sometimes, most of the time, but Jake and Jeff are out there. And they have, actually, I called Jeff this morning about a question that his customer had and I didn't have the answer for. So I'm constantly being educated as well. So if I don't have the answer, I mean, one of these guys does, and I emailed that information tomorrow so she can email to all you agents and stuff like that. So you guys have their contact information via email and phone numbers, which they can get texts as well. But yeah, please don't hesitate to ask any questions whatsoever. If they have solar panels, that's another issue. We do work with a solar company because I'm fine. We just did some recent solar jobs, and some of these solar companies charge quite a bit. They range anywhere from $185 to $350 to remove panels per panel. That is per panel. So we do, and Tesla does their own. They charge, I think, a flat $500 fee. But if these customers are either interested when they're moving into their house, they're thinking about solar, please have them get their roof inspected first, because a solar company does not sell roofing. So they just want to sell you the solar.
Yeah, they won't do a thorough inspection, and a lot of those companies to remove panels are typically about 6 months out as well. So if there's a leak under a solar panel, it's very difficult for them to get out and get to it. So those are some of the hurdles that we typically see. But yeah, especially with installing new solar panels, even if that roof has about 5 years of life left in it, we still want to do an underlayment replacement. And we actually have a specific underlayment that we will recommend. It lasts longer and it just holds up better when they're installing those panels. We do offer different options for that underlayment on a tile roof. And then we do have some another option as far as shingle roof to extend the life of it and to provide a little bit more protection and a little longer warranty. So we do offer a lot of products for the homeowners that are interested in more long-term solutions, help fit their needs.
That's really good to know.
Yeah, if somebody is looking for a cheap way, we're definitely not the roofing company for them. We're not checking the truck. We're not storm chasers. I just don't work that way. None of us do. We all created this company to provide the best customer service for our customers, for our realtors, for people we want to create relationships with. And that's just, again, if the bottom line, and we try to make sure our customers are there when we go there so that we can show them, we just got off your roof, here are the photos of your roof. Because if it comes down to just numbers and we're just emailing them proposals and that's all they're getting is email, they don't know, they're not educated, and they're just looking at a number. So for them, they're gonna probably go with the cheapest one or maybe somewhere in between. So again, we really try to build that relationship with them. And in doing so, it does cause for repeat customers, as we have a few of them already. And it's kind of nice that they feel confident in our company to want to proceed with us on other projects or other homes. So.
Do you find that solar companies tend to damage the roof when they put up the panels and all the stuff?
They can. So essentially,
Everybody does. Inspectors damage it. Anybody that goes up on a roof, they're like, ow. Go ahead, Jake. Sorry.
a leg bolt, and they drive that leg bolt through the waterproofing layer into the trusses into the attic. And they should be sealing up around every single point of attachment or leg bolt in order to ensure that it doesn't leak. But the difficulty is, what we found is your underlayment is that waterproofing. When you damage and penetrate that, they're sealing that up with a sealant. But in Arizona, unfortunately, it gets so hot and dry, that sealant over time will crack and fracture, and then can cause leaks after 15 years. If it's a brand new roof. So that roof never really sees the entire lifespan that it should. And that's mostly due to them using a lower quality underlayment. So typically what happens is everybody is knocking on the door trying to sell solar. they just want to sell solar. And then if a roof needs to be replaced, it's all about the money. So they're using the cheapest material that they can. But that underlayment typically gives out in about 10 years. And then it becomes very expensive to remove the panels, replace the underlayment with the proper underlayment, and then reinstall those panels. So they do have to damage that roof in order to attach those mounts. And then if they're sealing up properly around, that's great. But over time, that sealant is just, it's going to end up drying out, cracking because of the heat that we receive in Arizona. So that's where we just always recommend the proper underlayment, the proper product to put underneath those panels to ensure the longest lasting system possible. So what we use, it actually is, the basic underlayment is very paper-esque. You can tear it, it rips and tears pretty easily. So when those bolts go in, it torques it and then does tear it and damage it. The nicer quality underlayment is actually woven with fiber on the top, and it's more rubberized. So when those penetrations go in, those leg bolts go in, it seals up, it self-seals around that leg bolt already. So the underlayment actually seals itself around that penetration. And then they should still be putting some sealant around it. But because of how it's made up, it's actually already sealing around every single point of attachment. That way it creates a longer lasting system. And that membrane is going to last longer than your basic 40-pound tar paper. So, those are all things we try to educate people on when they're thinking about solar. It's obviously more of an expensive product, but typically when you're doing a solar panel installation, you're doing it more for long term. You want to see the benefits of solar panels in the long term. The underlayment replacement can be wrapped up in a solar panel loan as well, and you can get the tax credit at the end of the year. So they always have a cap with it. So you can wrap up, say $50,000. So they can actually put the roof replacement in that loan. And then if there is any extra outside of that, we can do financing or they can pay out of pocket for that. But first and foremost is got to have a good roofing system for those solar panels installed.
Yeah, and right now the solar, if you combine your solar with your roof, a new roof, it's currently 26%. Effective January 1st, the federal rebate will be 30%, and they've locked it in for 10 years. So, yeah. If anybody that you are selling a home to is interested in considering solar, that's something that they might want to consider, doing solar with their roof. Because at 30%, you always take, whatever the solar cost is, that 30% federal rebate might cover the cost of their roof.
Yeah, that's good to know, to be able to tell prospective buyers,
Mhm.
and it sounds like you really do need to kind of work with the roofer and the solar company to make sure. And I would think even if you have to replace that underlayment, you would want to have the roofer come back out after they put the panels on and make sure they did seal everything properly and everything looks good.
Mhm. Yep, you hit it.
Now, is there an age difference like in a tile roof versus a shingle roof, like how long they last?
I thought she was going to say between you and Jake.
Yeah, Jake is older than me. My experience has been a tile roof and a shingle roof will last about the same in Arizona. The underlayment, like Jake said, is your waterproof, and the heat deteriorates that paper underneath. A shingle roof, you just notice it from the top down because the granules will wear off and they'll start showing fiberglass edges. But that 25 to 30 year max is pretty much what you're going to get out of those two systems here in Arizona.
And that's if it's maintained well, because, if you have tiles they're cosmetic. Tiles are cosmetic and that's what people don't understand is when they're looking at them, they're like, oh, my roof's good. It looks good. But, we have monsoons here in Arizona where the dirt and the debris get under that and can cause damage to the underlayment, deteriorating that quicker than that, what should be the lifespan of that roof. So you do want to encourage a maintenance program of some sort, because for a couple of reasons is if, some homeowners insurance requires that, if you have a problem. I mean, I know that we've ran into a couple of problems where they thought their homeowners insurance was going to cover it. Their homeowner says, no, you didn't maintain it. So those are all the, things that have to be looked into as well. So.
Great, thank you.
Any more questions?
I don't have any. Do you have any, Amberlynn? She's quiet.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. No, I do not have any questions. Thank you so much. This has all been great information.
Yeah, no problem. Amberlynn, where are you located out of?
I live in Santan Valley.
Okay, that's where my daughter lives, and you guys got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, so we've been out there quite a bit. And so, but yeah, if there's anything, again, my email address, and it's for each of us. Mine is Evelyn, and you got Jeff, who spells his name Geoff, and then you got Jake, Jake, and it's all at firstresponseroofingaz.com. So you can email us if you have any questions that you think of. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Awesome, thank you so much. I think having that $49 buyer inspection just to ease their buyer's conscience can come in handy sometimes, because sometimes the inspector reports all the water damage that they see in the attic, but it's old. And then I have found my buyers freak out and you're like, okay, but this house is like 60 years old and they've replaced the roof. That's not current damage, but sometimes
Right.
buyers have a hard time understanding that. So $49 could go a long way to ease their minds.
Yeah, because it may just be a simple stain, as opposed to if it was something that was damaging, it would be actually wood rot instead of staining. So,
Yeah.
you got things to think about. So
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
you're very welcome. Hopefully someday we'll have an online somewhere, or maybe, I don't know if you guys work out of different offices. We'd love to do a actual lunch and learn with you guys and sit down there and bring you a little bit more, bring everybody else education too. So,
Perfect. Well,
all righty.
we have different offices and we do some in-person stuff. So that would be great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you for having us. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
Thanks. Bye, Jake.